Yeah.
So the next matchup, the Giant, now christened member of the NWO, defeats Macho Man Randy Savage in about 8 minutes or so. What was the thought here of kind of just having NWO be dominant? Giant can't lose if since he's just turned heel.
Yeah, and the other thing was, when I talked about the invasion angle, well, it's still drawing, and it still just had the Giant come over, and everybody's sitting at home saying, "Oh, they're going to work a double DQ or some kind of bullshit finish, or someone's going to run down." Well, the Giant goes over, and he goes over Randy. What was the exact finish? Do you remember?
Some sort of cheating and then a choke slam, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, but we got the choke slam in.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was a very important thing. And again, Randy Savage was a complete businessman on this. He understood. He could have balked, you know what I mean? He could have probably went to Hulk and said, "Hey, listen, this isn't right, blah, blah, blah." But Randy knew what was going to draw money. And I mean, we had to be, meaning WCW, we had to be uh, Davy Crockett and Travis at the Alamo. We had to be fighting an impossible fight. And Randy stepped up to the plate, and I never have had any qualms with Randy Savage. Randy did some shit that he never should have did for me. One time I was wrestling in Chicago, which is his hometown. His father was a huge star off the TV in Chicago in the early 50s. I mean, his dad was, the U.S. champion when there was only one U.S. champion. Think about that. When all those territories, when those 42 territories, his father was the only U.S. champion because it was coming out of Chicago. And I was putting Randy over, and he gave me a slam and said, "Move on my elbow." I'm thinking, what? I'm supposed to take the elbow for the finish. He said, "No, move." Like, he slammed me, went up the ropes, and I'm still debating when he's hanging in the air, but I'm thinking, God, he's stiff with this one. I roll out of the ring, roll out of the way, he hits the thing, he said, "Cover me." I cover him. He held me, 1, 2, 3. I said, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I just think in case we can come back," I thought. So Randy knew business, and, he was really unselfish. He really was.
Were you okay with like that kind of stuff where like the wrestler kind of just says, "All right, I'm changing the finish"? You're okay with that? If it's Macho Man, I guess you're okay with it.
If it was somebody else changing the finish, if there was a reason, and I understood what Randy's reasoning was with me, uh, you know, he wanted. I knew Randy way back when we used to compete in bodybuilding contests together, and I kind of befriended Randy when he was in those bodybuilding contests. I was in the open contest. He was in the novice contest. And I showed him some stuff, and he did very well. He was a very intense guy. Do you know that he was in the Cincinnati Reds minor league farm system, right, John?
Yep. Yep.
He broke his arm. Are you aware of that?
Yep.
And that every day he threw 10,000 balls with his left hand.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Interesting.
He was a catcher. There's no left-handed catchers. And when he broke his arm, he broke his throwing arm, his right arm. He became a first baseman and threw 10,000 balls in a tennis. The tennis places where they have the wall where you can whack the ball against the wall and play by
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yep.
He threw 10 balls a day. His father did 6,633 sit-ups. Has the Guinness World Record to this day. Obsessive compulsive. If you look up the dictionary, there's Randy. You know what I mean? No,
Yep.
I wouldn't want guys changing finishes, but hey, if it's Randy Savage that wants to put somebody over, he has a reason to. So, yeah. But it
Now,
was
as
a
far as far as kind of the NWO at this point, obviously Randy will go on next month and he'll main event against Hogan. Does it matter that he lost here and is main eventing next month against against Hogan at Havoc for the title?
No. Randy Savage is an icon of the wrestling business. He came to us with something to prove. You know, people don't realize that Vince had put him out to pasture. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Made him an announcer, said he was over the hill. Randy was an intense man, and I spent a lot of time with Randy. Uh, Later on, I spent a lot of time with Randy because I had a place over there at Indian Rocks Beach. There was actually North Reddington Beach at the time, and Randy didn't live too far away, and we go to the gym together, and we hung together. We go out at night together. Randy was a really, really good man.
He is definitely absolutely underrated. I can't believe WWF at that point, let him go or thought he was done because my God, he has 5-6 years left of main eventing left,
Right,
in his body at that point. So it's pretty crazy of WWF.
right, right. I mean, I was talking to Ric Flair lately, and we were laughing. He listened to me, you, and JJ, and he told me he blew boogers when we were talking about the time in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and Aaron getting the phone call when he just got into bed, and we were talking, and I said, Rick, you're still around, and Herd was trying to get rid of you from 1989.
Yep.
89 wanted to get rid of him. That's when I heard brought him in the room, said he was going to be Spartacus. You heard that story, right?
Yeah. Horrible. Yep.
I said to Herd, he said, we're going to pierce his ear, cut his hair, and give him a trident. I said, well, we're at this. Why don't we go to Yankee Stadium and change Root's number from 33 to 663? But, I mean, we all can't always sit on the nose, but think of Randy was done. That surprisingly.
Yep.
For a guy all that money from, you know what I mean?
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.